The Minister of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities in the Presidency, Cindy Chikunga, opened the debate to reflect on levels of violence committed against women and children.
Honorable members, the scale of violence and femicide against women and girls is staggering. Data gathered by UN Women from at least 161 countries reveals that an estimated 736 million women have been subjected to physical and/or sexual intimate partner violence. In South Africa, a woman is killed every 3 hours. Over 50% of women are killed by an intimate partner. In 2023, SABC reported over 50,000 cases of sexual offenses, predominantly affecting women and children.
Members took to the podium for a debate on GBV and femicide, including the human trafficking of children.
Over 8,000 children were victims of sexual offenses, and more than 13,000 children were reported as assaulted. Moreover, incidents of child trafficking are on the rise, with children making up 60% of trafficking victims in South Africa.
GBV includes physical, sexual, psychological, and economic abuse, and it often manifests in intimate partner violence, domestic violence, rape, sexual harassment, and even harmful traditional practices.
Year after year, we flash statistics, and the ruling elite makes hollow commitments to the fight against embedded violence against women in this country. Yes, despite the commitments, there's nothing concrete. Nothing. There's no hope for the women and children of this country.
The reality is that 1 in 5 women in South Africa faces physical violence, and we have one of the highest femicide rates in the world. The statistic signifies shattered lives, broken families, and devastated communities.
While this campaign unites activists, organizations, and individuals from around the world under one banner, the question remains, how practical has this campaign been altered to directly speak to how the violence against women and children have skyrocketed?
Chair, we stand here each year debating the importance of the 16 Days campaign and what it means. And nearly everyone emphasizes the fact that activism by each and everyone in our society should not be limited to only 16 days, but should be a 365 days fight against the pandemic of GBV and femicide.
From children dying from suspected foodborne illnesses to policy changes and protecting women and children also generated debate.
Violence against women and children is at an alarming rate, and we speak of it in such a candid manner. Have you not seen the front pages of the newspapers? Brutal murders every day. The last couple of weeks, we've seen murders, and we've seen the pictures of little children on the front pages of these newspapers because of this government being an enabler to what is unfolding in our communities in terms of the spaza shops. That too is abuse of children.
The current enacted legislation does not address the increasing rate in GBV of women and children and elders. Despite the progress that has been made to address GBV, there remains a lack of effective support offered to victims of GBV.
And children in this country who want more than lament. They don't want to hear the statistics, they know them. They don't want to hear what the situation is, they know the lived reality every single day. They want commitments to turn this situation around.
A boy child who is empowered and has been guided with positive masculinity is one who becomes an outstanding citizen. The African National Congress has led a program on adopting a boy child, where we want to ensure that we are raising men, boys who are responsible citizens of this country.
Male MPs also gave their take on the scourge of violence against women and children.
I am a man. I am born of a woman. I was raised by a woman. The women of our country are not safe. Let's be frank with one another. The reason the women of our country are not safe is because of us, men. we are making life unbearable for many South African women. They live in fear because of us. As men, we cannot stand on the sidelines of this issue. Violence against women is not just a women's issue. It is a societal issue, a human issue, and it is one that demands the attention and action of every single one of us.
Dr. Nekama Brody, a researcher, pointed out the bitter irony that we face. South Africa has some of the strongest laws and arguably the most extensive data on gender-based violence. Yet, despite all of the words on paper, women and children continue to be murdered in South Africa.
If there is any parliament across the world that has an obligation to take a debate on 16 days of activism against the abuse of women and children seriously, that would be this parliament. This debate is not worthy of political grandstanding by any amongst us. It is deserving of the utmost sincerity and careful consideration on what it is that we must do next.
Mercedes Besant, SABC News, Parliament.